We're back at the temples. Oh, okay, good. Like I said, four episodes in between this, and then we got 2 episodes in between this and the next one. So, yeah, okay. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing today, guys? My name's Tico, and this is Amphibia, episode 37A, The Second Temple. I kind of was wondering why this one was an 11-minute episode, whereas the first temple was a 22-minute episode. But as we went through it, I was like, yeah, it would make they kind of know how to get. I mean, obviously, getting there, they don't really need an explanation. They can just go to the location and just get the task over with. And this one, and also to add, with the first temple, they obviously, since it was the first temple, they took their time with everything. So this second temple and even the third temple, they really pick up the pace with going through these trials because one, they want to complete their task a little bit quicker, and two, the tasks that they have are very, very, very hyper and really force them to think on their feet in some cases. So, well, actually, yeah. So it took me a second. I'm like, did they really have to think on their feet? They do. So this second temple, this is an interesting twist that they have with it, and okay, let's start out. So the second temple is on a mountaintop so that was a pretty cool idea because the first one was your classic temple in the forest kind of thing. So this one being on a mountain is really cool, literally, because they're up in they're up in this winter like area. It's super cold. They have to, they're trying to figure out what this, what did Marcy call it? Marcy said it's the Amphibian Arctic, so interesting location for this second temple. And okay, so they land with them, they fly in on Joe Sparrow, they land, and Marcy pulls out the green jewel, and they see it's beaming the light directly at this kind of like gate kind of thing, this open, and the light shines on it, and it reveals a clue, or at least a message to them, and it was something along the lines of like, like heart. So, and again, after looking, from the King Andreas's book, that brains, part, and brawn. So that's kind of how that's how I'm seeing this. So this is the heart temple, basically, and in other words, this is Anne's temple, and and so obviously this left me wondering for the third temple how obviously it had to be Sasha somehow has to be there with them, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, but we'll talk about that when we get to that episode. But right now they have to basically, all there is this gate, and there doesn't seem to be a temple anywhere. They look around, they pretty much look around, and it's just the mountaintop, so they have no clue where this temple is. That is until they stumble upon the lady from the Bizarre Bazaar episode, that lady who had her booth where Anne found that she had mystical items related to the Calamity Box, and before she got the chance to ask about it, her stuff was stolen, so it seemed like we were never, and they kind of did leave it open-ended with that, because she was intrigued with her, and I thought that sometime within that season, the rest of that season, we were going to see her, but we didn't, so it's nice that nearly an entire season later, now that I think about it, we finally see her again. And she takes them into her little shop that she set up, and tells them more about the Calamity Box, or at least why, so Anne shows her the box, and the lady explains that she is actually a part of this ancient order that is protecting, is protecting the temple, and obviously the box itself and everything about it. So basically, in other words, they have to kind of listen to this lady and trust her. I mean, however, Anne isn't entirely trusting of the lady because she doesn't, I mean, she's kind of on it. I mean, obviously with the music box, she doesn't know what to do. Not to mention the lady is a little bit, so, yeah, so, part of this episode is the lady, leading them to the temple, and along the way, it seems like she is purposely doing things to get them off, because the lady, mentions how this temple is more for the worthy. It's like you have to be worthy to earn this, and whereas Marcy's one, it was, you obviously needed to have intelligence, but you also needed to understand the humility. This one was very more mysterious with everything, with how this temple works. So the lady gives them these she gives them these coats that she says are more comfortable and warm than the coats that they're wearing right now, and they're actually made of caterpillar skin or fur. I should say, yeah, caterpillar fur. And they are climbing up the mountain, and then they get attacked by a giant bird. And Marcy is a bit confused why it's actually attacking them, because she's like, according to my research, this bird shouldn't even be attacking us. It only likes to eat caterpillars. And when she said that, I'm like, okay, the lady's trying to sabotage them, because, like I said, the coats that she gave them are caterpillar fur, and thus the sparrow thinks they're caterpillars and trying to eat them. But Anne luckily quickly thinks on her feet and saves everyone by taking off her coat and nearly freezing to death for the rest of the episode. She takes off her coat and throws it down the mountain, so that way the bird goes after it. And of course everyone's thanking her except for the lady. She is kind of furious that Anne gave up her coat and just did something so reckless. And Anne was like, well, of course, I had to do something, otherwise I was gonna eat all of us. And so the lady's kind of like shaming her for being so stupid, and Anne is obviously frustrated with that, because again, it seems like this lady's trying to get them killed. And whatever this order is, it really is interesting to see. But things continue forward when it's obviously not a mountain episode unless there's some sort of avalanche, right? They're walking around, then they hear the sound of an avalanche in the distance. I think Sprig like coughed or something, and it's like you just hear that, and then all of a sudden the avalanche begins, and Anne notices in the distance that there's an igloo. There's this house in the middle of it, and she knows that the avalanche is probably going to destroy the igloo, so she willingly runs towards the igloo to get whoever is in there out of there, and the lady's like, it's a suicide mission, basically. But Anne doesn't care. She's like, that person's in trouble, we need to help him. And she goes in, and this is kind of like a running gag, I think, because she goes in, and there's no one in the igloo, except on the table there's a sign that says on a lunch break. And that's the third time we've seen that, because the first time it was in the Bizarre Bazaar episode with the lady, we saw that. She did that in this episode as well. Like, they find the shop, and they're like, hey, that looks like the lady shop from Bizarre Bazaar. Oh, she's on a lunch break. What the freaking heck? So this one, again, lunch break, this was the lady's doing, obviously, and it seems like she's sabotaging everything and nearly gets Anne killed. And once again, she goes at Anne for being so reckless and stupid, but Anne this time isn't having it. She snaps at the lady, and it seems like the two are going to fight, but then the lady actually pulls out this crazy freaking thing, or not, I mean, crazy in terms of the fact that she's got power. She's a witch, basically, because she teleports Anne to this weird dimension. Like, I want to say, I mean, this it's pretty mystical with everything that you have. It's like it seems like it's high up in the clouds, but at the same time, it's like you're in the it's like some space time continuum thing, because they're on top of this lone tower with clouds, with just endless clouds beneath them, and there's just the space, and then like the stars all around them, and it's Anne and this lady, and the two of them are very well, obviously Anne's like, what the heck, and even the family, when they get teleport, when Anne and the lady got teleported, they're like, okay. So Anne and the lady have a confrontation, and the lady, and so it's like the lady's like, you think you're worthy of this? You think you have what it takes to really to pass it, to find this temple and conquer its challenges? And then Anne's like, oh, Anne's like, you were trying to hurt my family. I can't let you do that. And the lady's like, and this was a really, really clever thing that they did, because I talked about this in like, Anne obviously isn't a perfect character, because she's made some mistakes. She's had episodes where she's done some pretty selfish things, and obviously those are stuff that you have to live with. Sometimes we do stupid things, and all we can do is live with it, and we have to move on. This lady literally, like every single misdeed that she pretty much did in the show, especially like the bigger one, she just threw him back at Anne. Like, I mean, especially one of the big ones, especially the one being like, the music box, the music, I need the music box to get home. And like the lady's like, only thinking about yourself. Tell me, how did you get the music box again? Oh, that's right, you stole it. It's like, that's a good point. And of course is kind of freaking out, because like, wait, how did you know that? She also mentions, I think she mentions the episode with the end of the year where she was selfish and nearly got the town destroyed. What was another one that she said? Broke out of I think one of them was when Hop Hop told him to stay in the house, and she broke out. There's a few that she says to Anne, and of course I mean, it's unfortunately all facts, but Anne of course knows that, and so she says to the lady, she's like, she's done, yeah, she's screwed up, but she's willing to take the responsibility, and she knows she can be better, and she will try to be better. And the lady then attacks her, and the two get into this little interesting fight, but Anne is able to outsmart her, and the lady seemingly goes over the side. And the lady, of course, is like, she thinks that Anne needs her to get back, but Anne but Anne's like, I know how to do it. I saw you do it. And she's like, and the lady's like, oh, because she moved her, she has a staff, and so Anne saw how she moved the staff in order to teleport. So Anne's pretty much saying like she doesn't need her, and it seems like the lady's gonna fall, but Anne, being Anne, saves her, and it turned, and in this twist, I mean, well, actually, so yeah, she saves her, and then says all the things that I just previously said about Anne. Like, she's made mistakes, she has been selfish, and she needs to take the responsibility of that, and she will be better. And so and then the lady reveals that this whole entire time, these were the trials. The mountain basically was the temple. It was, and from sacrificing herself to save her family, a random stranger in the igloo, and even sparing an enemy in that moment, and taking responsibility for her mistakes, like all the things that are what are deemed worthy of the person who gets the charge of or at least the ability to charge the gem in the temple. And so basically this temple was heart and responsibility, whereas the first temple, it was intelligence and humility. So yeah, so Anne of course is excited and glad that she can use the gem in order to get her and her friends home. And the lady takes out her staff and puts the gem in the middle, and so that's how it's charging. But whereas Marcy's gem, it charged like that. This one, it's taking its time, taking its sweet time, in my opinion. And even Anne's like, this went really fast in the first temple. And the lady's like, yeah, it's an old relic. So, and it seems like this part actually was very interesting, and it's probably gonna come back and bite them in the butt, and that's this. So, like I said before, with Marcy and the gem in the first temple, when the gem's power was being filled, like the green energy was being into the, like Marcy's eyes, like it went from a green glow and it started receding. And for Anne, it also started doing that with the blue gem, you know, as the gem started to get the blue color, Anne's eyes started to lose it. But then she hears the family screaming, and so she thinks they're in trouble, and so Anne takes the gem out of the staff, and it's not fully charged. Like, it's I want to say 80% charged, or maybe even like 75% charged. It's not even, it's over a quarter, it's over 3/4 charged, but not fully charged. So, oh boy, who knows what happened with that, because obviously that means there's still the calamity power in Anne with, that's what people have been calling it, calamity power, so that's, Anne now has 20% of the calamity power left in her, so who knows what that'll lead to. But obviously the big factor of this is the gem is not fully charged, so and it turns out that it was completely the fact that Anne, like, I mean, again, the family screamed and took the gem, you know, because she wanted to go save her family, and the witch sent her back, and she goes, and the family's fine. The family's fine. They were watching this video, and they were, like, it was this super cute video, and they were just screaming in laughter, and it's like, what? So, it's like, so, I didn't know how to react to that, because I'm like, on one hand, yeah, it's like, that could have possibly screwed everything up, because we don't know what will happen when they try to open the box when all three gems are fully charged. So who knows what'll happen when the box opens up? But yet at the same time, it's like, she did kind of do the right thing, you know. She heard her family screaming, and so she did the right thing to go help them. But it's just the fact that they are unintentionally the reason why things are possibly to go bad, with the box no longer charged, or at least Anne's gem not fully charged. So. And of course, they don't even hesitate to leave that open-ended. Like, they show the box, and they turn everything goes black except the gems, and you see the green gem fully, like, glowing, and then you see the blue one, it's flickering, and you're just like, that's not gonna go well. So all we can say is, oh boy, this season 2 finale is gonna go crazy, I think. But yeah, so in terms of this episode, I liked it. I thought the trials were, I mean, they made sense in terms of the location, because again, Anne gave up her coat and nearly froze to death because of that, and then she was willing to give her life to save some random stranger from an avalanche, and nearly got caught in that, and then at the end she spared the enemy while also taking responsibility for all the misdeeds that she's done in the past. So I like the little character arc that Anne had in this episode, because not only did it show what she has done set up to this point and what she's grown to be, but she can grow even more. She can grow even more because, like I said, she realizes the mistakes that she's done, and she has to take the responsibility for those mistakes. She has to be better. She has to take, you know. I like when episodes do that. I mean, again, that's kind of what happened with Marcy in the first temple. You know, she already grew so much, but then the first temple gave her another piece to her arc, and that being like she realized that it's more than just being intelligent and winning. It's like sometimes you have to have some humility in you in order to do the right thing. And of course, that led to her passing the temple. And so I like the way they do them. It's really creative, and it's super, super, it's good. It's good. I can't really think of another good word to say. So, yeah. Okay. Alright, that's enough talking about that. So that was episode 37A, the second temple of Amphibia. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just saying, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next one.